Kind hands, big hearts. In a peaceful kingdom called Lumeria, there lived a young king named Aaron. He wore a golden crown, but what people noticed most was not the shine of his crown, it was his kind hands and his big heart. King Aaron believed that a true ruler did more than give orders. Every morning, he walked through the town without guards, greeting bakers, farmers, and children. His hands helped lift heavy baskets, fix broken carts, and gently wipe away tears. Wherever he went, smiles followed. One chilly afternoon, King Aaron saw an old shoemaker sitting sadly outside his shop. His hands trembled, and his tools lay untouched. "My hands are too tired to work," the shoemaker sighed. Without hesitation, the king knelt beside him. With his kind hands, King Aaron helped polish shoes and repair soles until the shop was full of laughter again. The shoemaker's eyes shone with gratitude. Another day, a group of children stood by the river, worried. Their bridge had broken, and they couldn't reach school. King Aaron rolled up his sleeves. He passed stones, tied ropes, and worked side by side with the villagers. His hands were muddy, but his heart was happy. By sunset, the bridge stood strong, and the children cheered. But the greatest test came when a neighboring village ran out of food after a storm. Instead of keeping the kingdom's supplies for himself, King Aaron opened the storehouses. "A big heart grows bigger when it shares," he said. His kind hands passed out bread, blankets, and hope. Slowly, something magical happened. The people of Lumeria began copying their king. Hands once busy only for themselves now helped others. Hearts once small grew big with care and courage. King Aaron smiled as he watched his kingdom change. He knew then that crowns may rule heads, but kind hands and big hearts rule the world. And so, Lumeria became a kingdom remembered not for its gold, but for its kindness, one helping hand at a time. As seasons passed, King Aaron's kindness continued to shape Lumeria. The kingdom grew warm with trust, and neighbors helped neighbors without being asked. Yet, kindness, like a muscle, grows strongest when it is tested. One summer, a terrible drought struck the land. The rivers shrank into thin silver lines, crops cracked under the sun, and worried whispers filled the streets. Fear began to creep into hearts that had once felt so hopeful. Some people said, "We must save what little we have," while others argued, "We should close our gates." King Aaron listened quietly. That night, he walked alone through the palace gardens, running his fingers through the dry soil. "Kind hands must work harder in hard times," he whispered to himself. The next morning, the king called everyone to the town square. Instead of standing above them, he stood among them. "We will face this together," he said calmly. He sent messengers to learn who needed help most and invited farmers, builders, and elders to share their ideas. His hands wrote plans, passed tools, and offered comfort. When a young farmer named Leo lost all his crops, King Aaron visited him personally. Leo was angry and ashamed. "What good is kindness when the land is empty?" he asked. The king placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "Kindness is never empty," he replied. Together, they planted seeds near a hidden spring the king had discovered while walking the land. Others soon joined, inspired by the king's quiet faith. Soon after, travelers from another kingdom arrived, desperate and hungry. Some villagers grew uneasy. "We don't have enough for ourselves," they murmured. King Aaron did not argue. Instead, he picked up a basket and began sharing food himself. One by one, the people followed. Their hands trembled at first, but their hearts grew steadier with every act of giving. Something remarkable happened. Clouds gathered one evening, and rain finally fell, soft at first, then strong and steady. The fields drank deeply, and the people laughed and cried under the sky. Though they knew rain was a gift of nature, they also felt it was a reward for not letting fear shrink their hearts. From that day on, the people of Lumeria understood a deeper truth. Kind hands do not stop working when times are hard, and big hearts do not close when fear knocks. King Aaron watched the kingdom bloom again, prouder than ever, not because he was their king, but because he was one of them. Years passed, and King Aaron grew older, but his kindness never faded. Lines appeared on his face, and his steps slowed, yet his hands were still ready to help, and his heart remained as wide as the sky over Lumeria. The people often said, "Our king's strength is not in his sword, but in his hands." One autumn, a quiet worry settled over the kingdom. King Aaron had no child to inherit the crown. Whispers filled the halls of the palace. Who will rule us when the king is gone? Some asked. Others feared that a ruler without a kind heart might undo everything they had built together. Hearing this, King Aaron gathered the people once more in the town square. His voice was gentle but steady. A kingdom does not belong to one crown, he said. It belongs to every kind hand and every big heart within it. To prepare for the future, the king began a new tradition. He invited young people from every village, farmers' children, bakers' sons, shepherds' daughters, to the palace, not to learn how to rule, but how to serve. They learned to listen before speaking, to help before judging, and to work together even when they disagreed. King Aaron guided them patiently, showing them by example rather than command. One winter, a severe storm struck Lumeria, harsher than any before. Roofs collapsed, paths vanished under snow, and many families were trapped. This time, King Aaron did not lead alone. The young leaders stepped forward. Their hands cleared roads, carried the weak, and rebuilt homes. The king watched quietly from a distance, his eyes shining with pride. The kindness he had planted long ago was now growing without him. When spring arrived, King Aaron fell ill. The people gathered outside the palace, hearts heavy with fear. Though weak, the king asked to see them one last time. He raised his trembling hands and smiled softly. "Do not remember me as a king," he said. "Remember me as a helper." After King Aaron passed, the people did not fight over the crown. Instead, they chose a council of leaders, men and women known for their gentle hands and generous hearts. Lumeria continued to flourish, guided by the values their king had lived by. Long after, parents told their children stories of a ruler who taught them that true power is found in kindness, and that the greatest legacy anyone can leave behind is a world made better by their hands.